happening?
All right, motion to start the meeting? I don't know if you can.
Oh, make a motion to
Yeah, make a motion.
open?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Okay. Did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting? I have, right here. I get, had you seen it, Kevin, or you,
I had not, let me take it.
give you a second to take a look at it.
Two agendas. Did you
Oh,
have another
good.
meeting?
No, I have one more of these if you don't.
Okay.
They were probably stuck together. Sorry.
A little bit about those things. Bunch of programs, I saw those here, a little bit about those. Doug.
Yeah, you saw, okay.
Okay. Any changes, suggestions, omissions? No?
No.
Get a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Good, done. First thing is facilities updates. I don't have any comments. I thought that,
Yeah, no, so I have the old business. I thought maybe we'd just jump to real quick, new business, welcoming new members on
Okay.
the
all right,
rec commission. So I believe it's being recorded, so if you want to introduce yourselves, just, the microphones are all on as well too, so. And we go around the room even.
Okay, go on.
Sure. So, Kevin Foley. So, my kids are 30 years old now, been involved in the rec department for 25 years, so welcome.
Thank you.
Ron Campo, been involved in recreation in the town since the 90s. And have 4 boys that went through the program. Now I have 3 granddaughters that are going through the program. 4 granddaughters that are going through the program.
I'm Patrice Ruff Burbine. My kids grew up here, went through the rec program. We're involved with tennis, as most people know, but I'm interested in kind of expanding my knowledge of the whole rec town and what's going on and trying to get involved. It's something I enjoy.
Great, thank you.
nice. Nice to have you on board.
Roberta Davis, and I've been running the Londonderry tennis camps. And I was assistant, we were co-coaches for the boys' tennis team, her son Alex and myself. And I've been involved, I was involved actually with her husband years ago, Skip Burbine, with, teaching the tennis camps and everything. So I've always wanted to be involved in something that's, good for the town. And I feel like, recreation and parks is vital to any planning process. So I'd like to, get that moving ahead and have a long-range plan for recreation.
Good. I'm Bill Manning. I've been on the rec commission, I don't know, since birth, I guess. But I had 2 children that went through the school system here. Unfortunately, they're all living in Connecticut, and I have 3 granddaughters that are all down there too, so. But I've been involved in sports. I was involved in Pop Warner. I was involved in high school football and a couple other programs, so. Been on a couple of master plan steering committee functions, so I've been involved, and I enjoyed helping the town, so.
And Doug Cole, assistant recreation director. So I didn't grow up in Londonderry, but the enemy state of Derry, but I'm familiar with the town and this whole area. So excited, been here since September of 2023. So excited to be here and continue providing recreational opportunities for residents. So
Great.
thank you all for being here.
All right. Election of officers.
So that's something January of every year. You can choose to do that, choose not to do that. That was something I was told to bring to the forefront since you have new members and turnover. But
Yeah.
if you've been
Well,
chair, if there's
if
that's
there's-
up to you all.
If there's anybody that's interested in a position that's not occupied or occupied,
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
You want
Yeah.
a form, I'll make a motion that Bill remain as chair of the committee.
anybody second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Town report.
So that's just, I had sent an email to you, I don't know if
Yes,
you got
sir.
it. Yeah, so that's optional. I wrote one for the recreation department this year. We're gonna try to separate it. It used to be kind of one combined report, but as we're trying to expand and detail more what's going on in town. So if there's something that you want to even collaboratively submit, the due date for that is January 25th, so.
All right, so why don't we, because I asked, I didn't see it until today.
Yep.
So I mentioned maybe we should get together and talk about
Absolutely,
the
that's
best way
fine.
to
Yep,
do that.
absolutely.
What's the date?
January 25th. I can double check that, but.
Okay, tennis nets,
Sorry, January 31st, end of month.
Oh.
Yeah, we got end of month.
31st.
Even
all
better.
right. Okay. Tennis nets, I had no idea what.
Tennis nets, yeah, nope. So Art and Sid got over there and took them all down on one of the warmer days. So that's all packed up, for the few short months until they're back out there and being utilized again.
I
Okay,
was hoping that meant we were getting new ones.
That's also on the list of things that we're able to do. Yep. So now we'll be probably utilizing revolving fund to do that because of the program funds that have come in through tennis. Now we can start updating at least minor equipment needs and renovations that are needed for that.
So we'll kind of go over that business another meeting?
Yeah, as
or-
we get closer.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
yep. So as that starts to come, I mean, as the programs probably as the spring brochure gets, I usually release that mid to late February. So that's when tennis will start getting established on there as well. There's probably a spring program and into the summer months as well. And that's something we can look at what funds came in last year through those programs that can be utilized for things such as tennis nets.
okay. Summer planning,
So yeah, so I'll do the old business and I'll jump down back to, is that all right?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, because the first two are easy. Facility update and equipment update. Other than tennis nets, there's none to report. It's the cold dead of winter right now, which is nice. So, jumping into the budget, I know last time I said I would get information. I believe Ron had asked about the warrant article, what it was looking like for the Recreation Capital Reserve. So I don't know if you've seen that information has gone out. What the warrant articles that have been presented to town council and to the budget committee, decisions are still being made, but it is they're looking to do to $20,000 there on. So, and the language is all there too. It's all online for what's been proposed. But again, nothing's been decided on any of that. But so it doubled in what was there last year, this past fiscal year.
All right. Do you have anything else?
And then I just have my updates. Yep. So updates on my end. So winter programs have all kicked off. Program numbers. The new program that we started offering, it started last Monday, was youth volleyball. So that's grades kindergarten all the way through 8th grade, and we have 62 total participants in that. 2 coaches and 12 volunteers from the high school teams that are actually helping out with that. So it's been fantastic to not only fill the gym space, but also have that many helping hands with knowledge and experience in a sport.
Are they doing on
That's
Saturdays?
that's on Monday nights.
Monday
Yeah. So actually, they just finished about an hour ago today too. And again, so we have 3 different age groups: kindergarten to 1st grade, 2nd to 4th grade, and then grades 5 through 8. So that's how the 3 groups break
And
down.
it's all in the high school gym? did
It's
you
in
say?
in Matthew Thornton.
In Matthew.
Yep. So that was something that we had the residents had showed a need for. So I'm glad that to see it also correlated to the high participation numbers for a first time offering of the program.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
something we're talking with the coaches about. Can we do this multiple times a year as well, just to kind of keep it going and flow? And it could be a great feeder system. It's a great volunteer opportunity for young high school students as well that are looking for
Who's
hours.
coaching?
Dave Starron. So he coached at the high school years ago, and then Colby Sawyer most recently. And Brenna Geek is she is the assistant volleyball coordinator over there. As always, we got the dodgeball. Dodgeball's back. We've got 66 kids total in that, again, with the 3 different age groups. So that one's staying strong and steady. Pretty much, we still get people trickling in even after we've started. That's an 8-week program that goes till about mid-March. A 5-week flag football clinic we had offered last year. We do it through 22-6 Athletics. That's LLC organization. They also do the summer clinic, and they assisted with the Thanksgiving flag football tournament that we did right before the day before Thanksgiving. So
What was the group's name again?
22-6 Athletics LLC, and they have 30 participants. So that's an increase from last year too. So second year, we're kind of coming through the second year through programs being offered, and we're seeing an increase in program numbers as well. Pickleball.
That's indoor, flag football?
It's
or-
indoor, yes,
indoor?
yep, yep. And that's, but we utilize Matthew Thornton for most of all of our youth programs at this current time.
Okay.
And then we've got pickleball, looking at adult programs, that the one that is running right now. We have 50 total participants. Again, we're at St. Thomas. I think last month we weren't quite full on that, but we have filled both those programs. So they're waitlisted. We do have a second session that'll be offered, opened in mid-February. So I'm sure those numbers will stay steady. But again, St. Thomas has been a great home for that program. It's something that we're able to continue running it through the spring months, summer, and kind of the school year. So for the time being. And we have 5 volunteers that are running that program too. So again, it alleviates what we're able to do staffing wise here, but you know, by having these coaches and volunteers, it really makes it so we can expand program opportunities in general. For an event, we have an upcoming event. The second annual Teddy Bear Clinic is going to take place next month. That happened last year. It was at the community room in the police department. So we did that with local volunteer nurses came by to volunteer their time and services to do a Teddy Bear Clinic. The kids brought all sorts of stuffed animals, and it's just a way to help with kids that are anxious to go to the doctors and to kind of be there firsthand while their teddy bears and other animals are being treated. So it was fun last year. When we're starting to plug away at that right now to get the interest level back up and increased for people to go to that. Something we're looking at should be coming out. 603 is going to be hosting a bonfire event. So I've been in touch with them just through other means, but looking to try to get our department involved with that event in some capacity, trying to exposure, I think, at any level at the town-wide level that supports residents. I think it's good for community groups and departments and the town to all work together. So just always trying to look for that. So we're still trying to figure out where we're going to fit into that. But Londonderry Fire is already going to be part of that event as well. So something, as we continue to have these community events, it's how do we also stay involved with that.
Do you have a location?
It'll be at their 603's location. They're going to do it.
is,
Yep,
okay.
yep. So if you've driven by there, they actually already have the stacks of wood and everything ready to go. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, it should be quite the spectacle.
So cornhole or,
I think they're gonna have. I think they said they were gonna have some of that stuff. So yeah, it's something that he might even be just eyes on this year and kind of see where can what needs can be met in future years in doing that. But just talking collaboration with groups in general, and I know they're a good one for the community as well. And then real quick, we had advertised for our winter brochure to start providing field trips, and not for, we do some for our youth in the summer, but also now looking for adult-based trips, 18 and up. So we've got information that's coming in about that, about what the best service would be for that. But those could be anywhere from day trips to Boston to see shows, theater shows. It's what other local recreation departments are also doing. Some go all the way down to New York City for the day. Ski trips. So we're trying to do, initially looking at things that we can do seasonally, at least once every season is what we're going to look at, and still piecing that together. But that information should be available in the coming weeks, if not next month or so.
Is that going to be for adults, or is that?
It's going to be adult based. There might be some that are family based as well, depending if it's a weekend and depending on the type of trip. So that was something we were gonna that we were trying to do, kind of, I guess, my year 2 through doing everything. That's kind of something I'm trying to plug away at, and expand again opportunities that we can for residents. And then jumping down again, I know we have summer planning on there, so that's just a matter of, we're in the midst of that. We're gonna get an early jump start on summer planning this year. We have meetings with HR this week. Been speaking with our site directors from the past couple of years this week as well about how that summer program is going to look, and hopefully we'll get that posted with new registration information we're hoping by the end of the month. So that'll be a little bit earlier than last year, and that'll be for not only our playground camp that took place at Matthew Thornton last year, but also for the Voyager camp, which was new last year, and those type of opportunities for
how did the
residents.
Voyager camp go?
We had 68 participants last year. Yep, it was a lot. So the big thing is staffing needs. So that's always going to be. But getting the process going now and speaking with HR, we can get it advertised sooner too. Start getting the word out and getting it into the high school and even using statewide services. The New Hampshire Recs and Park Association has a website that we can post it on there as well. So just to broaden our reach and opportunity for potential staff members.
And that'll be full day this year?
We're still working out the information on that. So we're still piecing that together. That's the logistical stuff, which is why we're starting a little sooner than we typically have in the past. But the survey results did point for that to be what people wanted. Most people wanted was some sort of full coverage. But I think we're going to look at a hybrid of full coverage and what has been done in the past as well. So people will have options. It won't be one or nothing. You'll have other options to do.
Right.
Yep.
Good.
That's
All
what
right.
I got.
I have created the long-range plan format again, so
Oh,
I'll,
okay.
I'll go through it and explain what I've done and. Two pages.
Thank you, Bill.
That's impressive. They got started, huh? That's impressive.
We did it, we had it a few years ago, but we could never spend any money, so it sort of languished.
Yeah.
So I'll explain the format, and then any suggestions about the format or how we go about doing this would be greatly appreciated. And, so, I made one difference from the prior one. I actually included a segment on the budget for the rec commission, so we could look at that as well as regular projects. So, any things we could do to populate. I need to get a copy of the budget too. Have you seen a copy of the budget?
There's a proposed one posted yet.
So that, I
That will be
can't, I won't
finalized.
populate that until,
Actually, take an answer. When is town meeting?
So I believe
Is it the 8th
Is the 8th?
deliberative session, if that's Saturday?
So,
Saturday.
yeah. So Ted can probably give you a better insight of the timeline of that, of the budget and all that.
okay, so I'll just give you a high-level view of what the format is. The numbers that are there, any projects or anything else are all just placeholders until we get actual projects we want to deal with. And the numbers are obviously just to make sure the formulas work. So the top segment, normal operating expenses, would be the current budget plus estimates for future years out, till the end of the long-range plan. The projects, and I left a few here from last time, those are ones that, like getting bleachers or getting, doing the skate park, all those things, we're gonna have to come up with some answers on it. The equipment, that's predicting when we have to replace equipment. We just spent a lot of money on a new lawnmower. So we want to take a future look at these things so we don't get caught with not having it in our plan. And then there's a segment on maintenance. If there's any maintenance that we have to do, like we've just repaired a dugout in the Laffa fields. So,
Tennis courts.
yeah, yeah, that's right. This is not what the plan would be. This is just a placeholder to collect the information. So we would have the spending whenever it is occurred, whichever year it is, and then to the right, it says estimated cost. So if we were buying another lawnmower, we'd have to put $18,000 there, but we'd also have to have it plugged into which year it's gonna occur in. So my thought would be, I'll talk to Sid about equipment needs. What do we need to do there? If we have any insight from the master plan and what they recommend, we could put that in here and populate it. Any projects, if there's anybody else outside of master plan, people that have suggestions on things that we might want to do, we'll incorporate those in here as well. So I'll need everybody's help to help me collect information about this, and you were already talking about a couple of things. So I can start putting things in here, and we can discuss it in next meeting or the meeting after that, just to see how it's gonna look. And then, as soon as I get a copy of the final budget, I'll populate that, and then we can talk about, okay, when do we need another employee or whatever cost, we can plug it into the year that it's gonna occur on. So we'll have some guidance. It's kind of a roadmap. It's, obviously not cast in stone.
Is there a document that tells the scope of what Londonderry has for recreation right now? Like we have these fields, we have these, recreational programs, something that will tell us
Yeah, we
just
could,
the full scope
I'll
of
see
it.
if I can find it, because it's,
It's more piecemeal. You could put it together. I think that was something we had discussed about doing. Something that was needed for our department was not only just a needs assessment, but also kind of a, there's options for that you can put that together. Not just the master plan, but looking at it department-wise and kind of corroborating it that way to better understand what's there, what
Right.
organizations are taking care of what and how it's all differentiated. So that's something, Art and I had discussed, it was kind of the top of the list of, before we start looking at some of all these other things, we also need to know what it is we have, what's
Yes.
needed,
Yep.
where are we at based on the size of the population, what are we underutilizing, what are we
Right.
not having enough of, and that's, that'll be significant, because, again, you can mention tennis courts, 4 tennis courts for the town this size is not enough tennis courts based on what the scope would give at the state and national levels, so. But there's, there are roadmaps to figuring that out as well, so again, it's just a matter of collecting that data, and who does that?
I was
That's the
gonna ask that, who
Yeah.
does that?
There's different options, so I mean, that's something where it could be, yeah, staff, it could be, the commission, it can be something that I brought up, even, UNH, grad students do this. So it's a lesser cost to do that, but they come in and they're not coming in any opinion, they're coming in with just, this is what you've got, here it is in a report, you can read it, done, so.
speaking of tennis courts, that's one of the ones we could have under the maintenance section.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Fixing it, so.
Yep.
So those are the types of things we like to capture, so that we don't surprise the town and say, geez, we got a $50,000 issue here we have to take care of.
Right.
So if we, if everybody could jump in and help on identifying some opportunities or some things that are requirements, that would be terrific.
Can you send this around, Bill?
Yeah,
Send
can do
Excel?
Yep.
Sure.
So, and if there's a section that's not covered here, like projects or equipment, that would be, I could add that easily. So if there's another category that you'd want to look at, that would be terrific.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have any other items they'd like to discuss?
Can we get I know they've got it over there, what school facilities are available?
From the school?
Yeah, let's get the school facilities, how many fields of each type. Because before I populate this, what I'd like to do is lay out, and it's not that hard, how many soccer fields are in town, where they are, as almost as a preamble. This is where we are in 2025. Here's everything we have. And then we can start looking to see where the gaps are,
Yeah.
Yep.
using some of the other stuff. But I think we need that to start with.
Yep.
I think this, almost 2 sheets. One is capital improvements. I need tennis courts, I need a new baseball field, I need a new football field.
Yep,
The
that's
other
good.
one is maintenance type of work. I need to replace the water on this and almost put an age on that, how old the water system is at West Road and over at Laffa, okay? How old the lights are in these places, and we're gonna need some input from the organizations that have that information. And that way it'll give you a good period to start with is, okay, we have 6 lighted fields, they were lit starting in 1989 at this here, and where they go on that. And I think that would be a good starting point and be more comprehensive type of program where we're doing. I mean, we get the school fields, we get our fields, and we get our facilities, and I think you got a good thing. One of the things that probably wouldn't be, should be putting on there is like, what indoor facilities we have. Because as we expand the rec program, which we're doing a good job on, the answer is that's gonna put pressure on school facilities.
Right.
On all facilities.
So, and that would be good. And also, one of the things we should be looking at also, and, you know, you did a good job with St. Thomas for pickleball. What other facilities in the area could we use to expand our program? How do we expand the program on different type of areas?
Yeah.
Just something to take an inventory of really where we are. You know, most of us have an 80% knowledge of what we have.
Okay. Well, I can create a format to collect the information on this.
And, yeah, exactly, you know,
Then I can
where
summarize.
where they are, you know, how many 90-foot diamonds, how many softball fields we have, how many Little League fields we have. Just to get a good idea of where we are, to find out what
And
we're doing.
that's one of the easier ones to put together, because then you can compare that right to what state standards are, and right away you can see, okay, this is where we're based, and it can do it based on populations. So that's the simplest way to look at it real quick, and then you can start filling in the gaps there. It's like, okay, what are top priority based on those numbers?
Yeah.
Okay,
Do we have a time frame for that?
we probably, we could have some of it by the next meeting.
I would think that it'd be a 2-month project.
Yeah.
Bring what the stuff back next month at the next meeting, and then see what the deltas are that we're missing. And I think we can kind of put it together in a format and just have that as a starting point, and then start looking forward. 'Cause
Okay.
it's not a case that we're gonna do anything this budget cycle, it's over.
Yeah.
So does that mean we each take something? So
No, yeah.
we've named
The
quite a
answer
few
is you got,
areas.
well, I think it's, you know, either, you know, someone give the school a call and they have, I thought there's a list showing field 23, they have all their fields numbered. So I think that's pretty easy. Peter and I set that up years ago. So I think we've got that. And then, you know, Laffer, I know what's up there. You know what's at West Road. And then we can go from there and see where else we go. I mean, I think that would give us a starting point to show us what we have in the town.
Yeah.
And then we can start filling in the stuff we're missing. I mean,
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, and I wonder, I know Christina's not here. Are you part of the master survey?
The master plan?
Yeah, master plan, sorry.
No.
Okay.
I believe, town councilor Sean Faber is
Okay.
on that board.
I just wasn't sure if that's something, I know they haven't done kind of the second phase, which was gonna include recreation, and if that's part of the breakdown, that would be in there with that information as well, but.
I think it would be worthwhile for you to connect with Kirsten and the planning department to find out what their timing is
Mhm.
on that, so that we can be.
Their desk is right behind me, I'll just turn around, I'll ask, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that was a good suggestion. Anybody else have any suggestions or comments they want to discuss?
the other thing I think we should do is maybe start bringing in some of the organizational heads just to talk about their facilities and what their vision is. They're closer to it than any of us. And, you know, 1 week soccer, lacrosse, baseball, you know, softball, the tennis, basketball. You know, where do they see their programs going, and what do they see their needs being? So I think I'm looking, and I'm generally get it done in 2 weeks, but I think this is like a 6 or 8 month project if we do it right with the meetings. And you may have to have a second meeting in a month, bring a couple in on one day, on a meeting, and, you know, you talk about, you know, lacrosse and softball, or lacrosse and soccer in one meeting, and they'd say what their needs are, where their numbers are, and how many fields they need, and, you know, things like that to get us going.
Okay.
I just think that would be good to, we haven't had them in a long time, and I think that would be good to bring them in, not to do anything, but to steal knowledge from them.
Okay. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
So do you want to communicate online or to talk about the write-up?
Yeah, either or. I can kind of show you what's been submitted, but it was, you know, in terms
I
of.
know we adjourned.
No, we'll
But
just,
we-
it'll play.
Two things. On the agenda, at the beginning of the meeting, not that it's gonna matter, I don't, no one shows up here, put us, first thing would be public comments. Okay?
Sure.
And the second thing is, I don't know if Ted had anything, kind of cut him off short.
Yeah, no problem, sorry, I came late, I was coming from another board meeting that I'm a part of on Monday nights, the same time period. I know we were talking about, capital improvement plan for recreation, but I know there was also a bit of potential discussion involving, at one point, UNH to study all our facilities and what they may need for repairs. Have we talked with them at all, or no?
That would be great.
No, because that was all part of the budget process and where we are and what's gonna go through and what's not,
I wasn't
so.
sure what the timing was on that.
Yeah, so, and I mean, those numbers are based on when I had looked at it years ago in another town, but those, I have connections over there, that's why, and it doesn't have to be UNH, it can, we can obviously look, but that's just giving that kind of outward, take a few steps back, there's no opinion, this is the facts of what you've got, so. And it'd be something where they can compile school data as well as town data, and, you know, because there is crossover, obviously, the school uses our fields, we're using their buildings, all that, so. But no, nothing's gone beyond that. I mean, once, if and when we get a green light, then yeah, I mean, I'll be on it the next day, probably contacting people, so.
And then, the other piece I'd add to that is, you know, potentially think about something maybe the town doesn't have yet, that we'd wanna see for recreation.
Yep.
I know I had mentioned an item a couple meetings ago, of a potential, water structure of sorts, but I don't know if there might be something else that someone else may have an idea upon that we can always discuss about.
We actually had that in our plan a few years ago, a water park on our long-range plan,
Oh, really?
yeah.
So you had a long-range plan,
Oh, yeah.
and what
We,
became of it?
we were at the point of, we just couldn't get funding for some of the things that we wanted. So,
Yeah, I think a small water park or splash pad would be,
yeah.
we'd be looking at probably like $1 million range, maybe depending upon inflationary of equipment, could be 2 million. So certainly if we do go in that direction, I'd like to try and get some sort of sponsorship from the wonderful businesses that are in our town to try and help with that if need be. I would hate to put that on the back of our voters. So, but I'd love to see it happen. It's just a matter
Yeah,
of.
there were ongoing costs with that too, so you'd have to have some constant flow of funds.
Right.
Yeah, the maintenance.
Well, we talked about the economic development fees again, right? Or
Yeah.
putting it on the contractors, the builders.
That could be quite tough with the legalities that are out there. How we were doing it in the past was non-legal, and how we're keeping track
No,
of money.
that's not a true statement. It was legal. We just didn't handle it legally for financial, in our financial department.
Correct, yep. that's what
Because
I'm
it
trying to say.
worked very well. The school district used all the funds that were associated with it for the high school and the
Right.
middle school. So no, it's not a case that it was illegal. It was a case that we didn't keep good records,
Correct,
which
Okay.
what it came
Yes.
down to.
yes, thank you.
Okay, so I guess we're all set, and then, you have something I didn't keep the town book, so I didn't see.
No, that's
what-
fine, yeah, I can show you what we did for that, so, yeah, that's.
Yeah, and if we,
Did I attach it on that one?
oh,
I
don't know.
probably have last year's too.
Closed out, right? I think we did, yep.
Because
Thank
that
you.
thing was fantastic.